radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? Today's Thursday, September 9th, 2021. Let's do this, man. 253 days into the new year. Only 122 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Another total undisclosed location on the run. But it is beautiful in here. You have no idea. You just don't. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planets. Race Hobbs. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. All right. Now, tonight, it is Thursday. It is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Your calls, your conversation. You know what the deal is. Uncensored, unscripted, un-everything. Unscreened, unfiltered, all that stuff. Everything that has an un in front of it. Uncola. That's right. Pop culture, UFOs, time travel, paranormal, supernatural, lost history, all that conspiracy, all that stuff, conspiracy, all that stuff. Live tonight on the show. So, again, 747-228-2051. Calls started coming in. I've already put them in. You're going to be on hold for a while. I'm just letting you know right now. Just letting you know. All right. All right. All right. Man, it's Thursday. Very excited. And I've got a crazy fun weekend in front of me, which is Saturday night, of course, the Pasadena Film Festival, Pasadena International Film Festival, otherwise known as PIFF. The PIFF, the PIFF, the Pasadena International Film Festival. That is this Saturday, and it's a week long. Our film will be doing its world premiere Saturday night at 6 p.m. at Lamel Playhouse number 7, and right there, right on the corner of El Molino and Colorado Boulevard. And let me tell you what is the strange part for me on this. And that is El Molino. El Molino Avenue. When I first moved to California, first came out, El Molino. Yeah, El Molino. That is just crazy to me. I used to walk out. There's an overpass. El Molino goes over the 210 freeway right there in the middle of Pasadena. And I would walk out to the middle of that overpass. And back then, like the 210 was a brand new freeway. I didn't see it get built. It was already here when I arrived. But I'd go out there and just stand on the El Molino overpass and just look at California and think about Pasadena. And here I am in 2021 on the corner of El Molino and Colorado, the world premiere of this movie. And I'm very proud of it. And that's weird, man. That's the universe reaching out. And so go to the Pasadena International Film Festival's website, get your tickets and stuff. It is Saturday, you know the name of the film, Extraordinary, The Revelations. It's going to be great seeing all of you Fadernauts there. Our ticket winners, of course, Catalina and Carrie will be there. Very excited about that. And Carrie and Catalina, you guys got email today. You got email about those tickets. I never got a reply email, which is strange. Right? Okay, it doesn't matter. They'll be there. All right. And so that's what's going on this weekend. Next weekend, I will be hosting the Conscious Life Expo this September 17th through 19th at the LAX Hilton. You can get your tickets and info right now at consciouslifeexpo.com. You already know what's happening here. Use the promo code Jimmy. It's 2 cities, 2 countries. It's Los Angeles. It's London. One conference is going on here. It wraps. It continues over in London, both at Hilton Hotels. Very cool. And so they're streaming for the entire event. If you can't be here for the in-person side of it and come and hang out with me at the Fade to Black booth, if you can't do that, then there's streaming is available to you. Just go and hit it up on consciouslifeexpo.com. Okay? All right. And let's see where I'm at. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. At JChurchRadio. All right. Hashtag F2B on Twitter. Hello to everybody watching all around the world. I know what's going on, right? I know what's going on. And any other questions during the show tonight, hashtag F2BQ right there on Twitter. Whoo, man. I've got a lot to say tonight. I'm going to get back to it. And I kind of spoiled myself on Monday. I realized, man, I just can't get my chair in the right position tonight. It's weird. I need to sit right in front of the camera. I need to have the mic right in the right spot. I need to have my back in the, I got to have the keyboard. I got to have all of this right, and it's not. It is simply not. I'm wondering if I should just shift everything. If I should shift this way. I'm going to do some changes over the weekend. Okay, breaking news. And this is crazy breaking news. Cosmonauts with the space agency Roscosmos were woken overnight by a smoke alarm for the Russian Zvezda module, one of the oldest segments of the International Space Station. That's right, fire broke out. A NASA live stream addressed the smoke, saying there was a smell of burned plastic. But no source was found, and there was no impact to the crew. The smoke alarm was triggered during automatic recharging of batteries. All of this is red flags to me. The crew then turned on an air filter to clean out the possible smoke pollution, right? And all systems were operating normally and the air was within acceptable parameters. Everything that I just read to you was wrong. You're on the International Space Station. You smell, the smoke detector goes off. You smell smoke. You smell burning plastic. The batteries are being recharged. And the air is now, they're telling you it's within acceptable standards. I'm just like, wait a minute. A smoke detector doesn't go off, and you don't have the smell of burning plastic unless there's smoke and burning plastic somewhere on that space station. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go find. There is a burnt wire. There is a short. There is something going on somewhere, and you need to go and find it. There is no way that is, to me, everything is back to normal. No, it is not. It's that simple. Scientists have taken a close look at one of the most distinctive giant asteroids around and found it to be even weirder than previously thought. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Cleopatra, and that's Cleopatra with a K. It's called Cleopatra, and it is the size of New Jersey at about 168 miles long. It's ginormous. And they also discovered that it's shaped like a dog bone or a dumbbell. Stranger yet, right? And they found out it's got 2 moons. It's an asteroid with 2 moons shaped like a dumbbell at 168 miles long. So they named the 2 moons after Cleopatra's kids, Alex Helios and Cleo Selene. That's right, after her children. And this is absolutely incredible. They are studying it now, and I'm going to get you some more info. 168 miles long. Not a kilometer, not a mile-wide asteroid. 168 miles, 2 moons. That's nuts. All right, here we go. Facebook in the news yesterday. Facebook really in the news today. Starting today, Thursday, September 9th, the first pair of smart glasses made by Facebook and Ray-Ban are going on sale for $299. Now, what are these glasses? They're called Ray-Ban Stories. And you'll be able to find them pretty much anywhere Ray-Bans are sold, including Lens Crafters, right? And Sunglasses Hut. I'm not making this up. The frames, and you need to see them. I know they're probably already up here in Twitter. Let me bang up Twitter. Let's see who's got it first. I want to see the Facebook Ray-Bans up in Twitter. You got to check them out. They feature 2 front-facing cameras, and you can't even see them. They're right here. Tiny. For capturing video and photos. They sync with a companion camera roll app called Facebook View, where clips can be edited and shared to other apps on your phone, not just Facebook. There's a physical button on the glasses for recording. Dude, right? Or you can say, hey, take a video, and you can control them hands-free. And perhaps more importantly, they look and feel like regular glasses, and nobody will ever know that you are taking pics or shooting video. Nice. Yeah. You got to check them out, man. You got to see. They're wayfarers. I haven't worn Wayfarers since 1985, but I don't have any glasses in here. Oh, no, I don't. No, those won't work. Those are Ray-Ban pilots or whatever they're called, aviators. But yeah, there they are. Thank you for that, Kaz. This will get a retweet every time. I'm going to call this the new Facebook Ray-Ban spy glasses for shooting video when nobody knows. 1984. Yep, that's what I'm calling this tweet. Boom. And tell me, just look at those. They got 2 styles. Look at that. You're not going to know. Just not going to know. It's crazy, isn't it? Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Adam Sandler. Used to be funny. Christmas stuff, the music, all funny. Not funny anymore. But anyway, Adam Sandler. Now, he was great in that movie where he played the jeweler, but he wasn't funny in that movie. That was a serious movie. That was excellent. It's not funny anymore. Adam Sandler today is 55. Michael Bublé today is 46. Hugh Grant today is 61. And the Eurythmics, remember them? Dave Stewart. Now, wasn't he married? What was the lead singer's name of Eurythmics? It just got away from me. Just goes to show you how many show notes I take for the show and prepare. I just don't do it. What was her name? They were married, I think. Well, Dave Stewart today is 69. Our dead guy's birthday today is, seems like I do this every year and I can't help myself. I'm going to do it anyway. Otis Redding, 1941 to 1967, died at the age of 26. Otis is considered to be one of the greatest singers in history of popular music and a seminal artist in both soul and rhythm and blues. Otis died on December 10th, 1967, when his plane crashed 4 miles from Truax Field in Madison, Wisconsin. He changed the world in his 26 short years on this planet. Annie Lennox. Thank you, Kaz. Did you know that, Kaz, or did you Google it? Were you like, Eurythmics? Tell me the truth. Annie Lennox. Yeah, Dave Stewart. I wonder if they're still married. Yeah, there she is. She's amazing. The new TV series, Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso's boss, the owner of the soccer team. I swear I thought that was Annie Lennox. And she sings. She sang last season. She sings again in this season. She breaks out in song. And I'm thinking, man, that's actually Annie Lennox. Turns out it wasn't. I looked it up. I was like, Ted Lasso. That's got to be Annie Lennox. I'm looking at this here, and I'm right back to where I was. Thank you for that. I don't know. Maybe she changed her name. She was amazing. Great singer. All right. On this day in history, OTD, 1956, it went down. Elvis Presley appears on the Ed Sullivan Show for the first time with 60 million viewers, or 82.6% of TV viewers at the time tuning in. 8 out of 10 watched it. And Elvis was just 21 years old at the time. Absolutely incredible. Fader fact. All right. Vetted and true. Fader fact. Ambulances in the state of Vermont stock maple syrup for oral glucose used for hypoglycemia administration. That's right. But there's more. They specify that maple syrup in those Vermont ambulances has to be 100% Vermont maple syrup. And that is your Fader fact. Tonight, it's Thursday. It's open lines all night long. It's another Fader night. You know the drill. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. There's Dave Stewart in the background. That's him right there. Who posted this? Olivia. Yeah, there's Dave Stewart. I see him. There he is. Dave Stewart. All right. That was Third Stone, too, coming in strong with Annie Lennox. Yeah, I just couldn't remember. And she was like the most famous singer in the world at one point. No question about it. All right. Over the last couple of months, and even the last couple of weeks, in our UFO community and around here at Fade to Black, it's kind of like been more like a solid month. It's been documents. Now, let me explain. And there's a lot of chatter that's been going around, and I know that you've been seeing some of it. No, you've been probably seeing a lot of it out there going down over the last month. And it kind of pushed back a month before that. And a lot of personalities that, how do I say this in the best of ways? A lot of personalities that I'm in communication with all the time. Everybody's at the center of this. And then there's stuff that's going on a little bit beyond that, too, as well. And I'm talking specifically, I don't want to get into specifics, but specifically talking about five different sets of documents. And some of this is going back quite a ways. We're talking about 2 or 3 decades, some 2 decades ago, some more about 2 decades ago. Anyway, and then some more modern things, and over the last 5 years, this goes back before TTSA, so 6 years, as all of this turmoil started to bubble up to the surface. Oh man, I'm being sent things. I've been given things. I was handed an envelope or two stuffed with things that I still have, and I always in each one of these cases, I swear, I'm just like, man, I'm not going to be the guy to post this stuff. Not going to do it. Just, I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want things to, A, turn out to be a hoax, and I'm not going to spread that. I'm not going to be part of that. And there are some people out there right now that have posted some stuff that have turned out to be very, very suspect, if not just outright hoaxed fake documents. And that's bad. I mean, that is really bad. And I don't want to be a part of that. And then the other side of it is this. What if the documents are real and you post them? Is there a legal area? Are you exposing something? Is it, especially, something that's got a top secret stamp on it and it's signed and it, and it's got whatever, man, and it's documented. It's been assigned a document number and all of that, which I have, right? I've got, and when you get those, and that's not for public consumption. And just because you get it, you go, are you? I don't want to be in trouble. I always let everybody else do the stupid thing and post it first. That's it. There's somebody out there. And then in the end, we will find out in very short order if the documents are real, if the documents are not, and if somebody's gotten into trouble. But I can assure you of this, it is never going to be me. And now, back to my point. Over time, when you start to accumulate some of these things, and you always put it on the back burner, I'm very surprised to have all of this kind of happening at the same time. I don't know ultimately how this is going to play out, but there's going to be a lot of embarrassment out there if the documents are hoax. There's also going to be a lot of embarrassment out there if the documents turn out to be real. Now, I'm not talking about one specific thing. I'm talking about a stack of stuff right now that is happening. And I'm very, very interested in this and how it is playing out. Why? This is 2021. We just came off of the UAPTF. We've got everything that is going on at the same time that we talk about every night on the show, because it seems that nothing ever gets boring around here. 2 weeks ago was Anjali, right? And an underground base in the Mojave Desert. And before that, it was the UAPTF documents, and before that it was, and it's been pretty nuts. It's been pretty nuts, and here we are a week later, and now this stuff is starting to take hold. There are now, I'm not even stating, and there are some people that are listening to me right now that are going, I wonder if he's talking about that other stuff. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not mentioning that other stuff. I'm just talking about the stuff that other people are chatting about, the things that I've already had in my possession for a long time. And this is getting ready to get pretty crazy. And I'm not sure. There's who is going to take this one. Somebody's got to take it on the chin. And I don't know which side. And it's, I texted somebody last week, and I literally said, dude, so how do you think this is going to play out? And I don't know. That was the reply back. I don't know. This is, it's so much fun. Okay, so the reason for all of this is that when you get into the UFO game, as I have for this long, where I have seen things come and go and come and go and come and go over months and then over years, and then a decade rolls by, and I'm serious, man. We are now, since my first really solid jump into this, which was mid 80s. That's 35 years ago. Before that, I had a general interest in it. But then after 1985, I just dove in. I dove in deep. And after the internet kicked off, I dove in really deep. And I have seen all of and I have never had this much fun with this much stuff going on at the same time. And some of it it's got to get resolved. It's too much stuff is hanging, and I know, and I warned everybody last week and earlier this week too on Monday when I had my little rant show, my rant special on Labor Day, that there are too many loose ends. Too many loose ends. You've got the Afghan with the yarn hanging off of it, and there's too many of those loose ends hanging off. Too many. And they've got to get resolved, or you're going to start pulling on those, and it's going to unravel. I'm telling you, these loose ends have got to get wrapped up, and it is going to be crazy. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, but I'm telling you, I'm in a position right now to watch like 5 or 6 pretty serious situations that are about to boil over. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. If you're on hold, stay right there. All right? I've got to jump back and move some stuff around here. But 747-228-2051. Your calls after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward. This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at gettheti.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to gettheti.com. That's gettheti.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Gettheti.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's gettheti.com. Gettheti.com. The tea that makes you go.
Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It is Thursday night. It is Fader night. Open lines all night long. I'm serious. Every time over the years where I gave my warning to the UFO community, get ready. It happened every time. I'm just telling you right now, just get ready. It's about to go dark. I'm telling you right now. It's crazy town. I love it. All right, it's your calls, your conversation, UFOs, time travel, conspiracy, pop culture, paranormal, supernatural, time travel, music. Oh, man, somebody's going to call in about guitars. That always happens. But with that, let's just get straight to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Nathan in Ohio.
Hi, Nathan. What's cracking?
Well, I wanted to touch on an experience that I had in late 2008.
What happened?
I had gone to sleep. I was living in an apartment at the time in Tennessee, and I didn't know at the time that this was a real experience, but it started out like a dream. I opened my eyes and the room was filled with this pink light, and there was a girl standing beside me, and she had long blonde hair, and she was obviously not human. Her head was a little oversized. Her eyes were too big. I identify her as kind of a hybrid looking type female. And the next thing I know, I'm in a room with her, like I lost a moment of what happened. And then on the next thing I know, I'm in a room with her that is round, and I'm surrounded by more pink light and mist. And there's some what appear to be grays moving around in the room. And she's like staring at me this whole time. And I don't know why I'm not afraid. In fact, I feel some kind of kinship to this entity.
Now, is this a dream or is this really happening?
I really think it happened.
Okay, but that's not the question.
But at the time, I couldn't have told you the difference. Like I do know that I came out of this experience laying long ways across the bed instead of laying regular. I do know that me and my wife even talked about it that next morning. And she had a weird dreamlike episode that night as well. I can't verify that with her anymore. She's deceased. But it's the next part of it that really brings home that it was more real. And that was that I was in a room that looked like an industrial sized butcher shop. Like when you go to like a meat packing plant, like hooks and workers that didn't look human. And there was this big mantis creature, and I'm not trying to be purposely vague. I'm just saying these are vague experiences anyway. I always remembered this from a visual perspective, like you would a dream or any other content. I believe it's real because of other experiences I've had. The thing that I wanted to bring home, what I want to ask is, do you think Tennessee, or do you think certain types of entities favor certain areas? Or do you think people have the same experiences with different things all over the place? Like maybe the mantises have, because I didn't feel like this building was on a ship. It felt more like it was underground. And I lived, it was Tennessee. It was like the mountain. It was like near, it was closer to the mountains.
Yeah, I'm going to
cavernous areas.
Just to answer that, fairly quickly and directly, I've checked out different groups from China. I'm talking about in person, okay? China, Japan, Brazil, Mexico, of course, Europe. I'm trying to think if I've had anything direct with Africa, but all of the descriptions and illustrations and things that I've seen are all the same. So, no, I don't think anything is geographically bound. Could be. I mean, it's possible, but no, I've seen the same things represented from different continents and different cultures. So, no, I don't think that Tennessee would be specifically tied in, unless it was, somebody that like really fine bourbon. I don't know. But but and I'm being putting the jokes aside. I mean, I remember this was a few years ago, but I was with a Chinese group, and about a year later, Japanese. But I'm looking through all of their reference material and the books and the things, and everything was the same. It was like an episode of Fade to Black. And later, same thing happened with a UFO ET contact group out of Japan. I was able to meet with them and sit down and talk to them, and that was really, really interesting to me. So no, I don't think ET is geographically bound, and I don't see a reason why they should be. So I hope that answers your question, Nathan. I hope everything else is good, man. Behave and be well.
All right.
Have a great night.
Go back to the chat, please.
Yeah, right on. It's time to fade to black. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, I don't believe. I just don't believe that. And if you think about it in those terms, why? Now there are. I was doing some reading last night after the show, and you can hear my voice. I'm putting you on hold. Just stay right there. I was doing some reading last night, and Lemuria. Okay, Lemurians, Mount Shasta specifically, and how, right? We're talking about a geographic location, and Mount Shasta, Lemuria, underground, living there, been there for a while. And then I did some historical research. This is what I did after the show, and I spent some time on this last night. I have my own reasons for doing it. But Lemuria was named after lemurs, specifically because of Madagascar. And there are a lot of different subspecies of lemurs in Madagascar. A few of them have made it across the water into Africa. And the scientists and the anthropologists that were doing these original studies, and this goes back into the middle 1800s and later and through, 20th century, that there must have been a land bridge that connected Madagascar to Africa and possibly over to India. And they named that land bridge, that mass, Lemuria. Now, after lemurs. Okay, now today, all right, so that's the official. If you go and you read and you look at the etymology and the history of this, you can go look all of this up yourself. How Lemuria came out after, and Atlantis goes back a long ways. So I'm not talking about Atlantis. I'm talking about Lemuria. And I, through Mount Shasta, and I was looking at a few different geographic locations tied to specific parts of our UFO community. And I landed, and research then, takes me through and what has been going on at Mount Shasta and some of the stories that have come out of there over the years, which we've all heard, crazy stories, amazing stories. I remember there was, there's a lot of skiers that have nothing to do with the UFO community or Lemuria or anything else. They go up to ski at Mount Shasta. They've never seen ancient aliens, whatever. And they come off of the mountain. They're like, man, wait a minute. It's what? It's 3:30. I've been skiing for 3 hours. I was only on the mountain for 15 minutes. I've got 3 hours of missing time. That kind of story comes off of Mount Shasta all the time. There are stories. Another skier broke her ski on the mountain. She had to hike hike down off the mountain with her husband. And so, skiing down the mountain is one thing. All right. It's easy. Hiking down the mountain and trying to find your way through, that's a whole nother matter altogether. She broke her skis. They're hiking down. And some guy shows up out of the forest, wearing some crazy clothes and says, "Hey, you guys lost?" "Yeah, we are." "Okay, come on. Follow me." They go down, boom. He takes them to a road, and they turn around to thank him. Dude's gone. And they look down into the snow, and the only footprints in the snow are theirs. The third set of footprints are gone. There's stories like this. Is he Lemurian? I don't know. But there's a lot of, and you go and you follow this back, and then you go back into, Lemurians have been tied to specifically, geographically, Mount Shasta. And then you find out Lemuria, all of that etymology, if you go back into the history, it's from lemurs, not from a species of people, a race of beings from Lemuria. Look, it was named Lemuria in modern times, not thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago. Very strange. So, yeah, I look into this all the time, Nathan, and thank you for that. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, sir. This is William Calamari.
Hi, William. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. What's on your mind tonight?
First, before I ask the question, if you don't mind, I was curious, how was your experience with the telescope in the desert?
I didn't go to the desert. I live in the desert, so I'm already in the desert. Yes. It was great. I looked at Jupiter, and I'm still, I've got to get the alignment done on it. I've got to tighten all of that stuff up. I'm going to get another spotting scope and mount that to it. But yeah, it was great. It was great to look at Jupiter and the moons of Jupiter and to see it up close. But I've got to do the same thing that everybody does with telescopes. I've got to get some really good lenses and eyepieces, and I've got to get a spotting scope. And just like everybody else that gets into telescopes and that kind of hobby, you're in the middle of a money pit, right? And you're just, it's one thing after another. And, so there's a few things I've got to do, but I'm really enjoying it. It's totally cool.
That was my biggest miscalculation because I got the same model as you, and I thought it was just point and click, and it will work, and we'll be able to easily spot planets. But no, I found a good YouTube video to help me calibrate it and set it up with the polar alignment, depending where you are in your latitude.
Yep.
So that was good, but I just ordered the lens and the scope too, so hopefully I will be able to see more.
Yeah. So is yours all set up now? You got a new scope and eyepieces?
Yeah, I got it. I'm missing the scope. It's supposed to arrive at the end of the month, but I got the lenses, and it's a huge improvement. You can actually get some filters to look at the moon even better. It will reduce the light bugs from the moon, so everything will look much, much clearer.
Yeah.
I can tweet it for you, the one I got, because I have the same scope.
Yeah. Do that for me. I don't have the moon right now. The moon isn't in my night sky. I've got to wait for it. So I've got no moon, but I've got a few planets out there, and I can do that. But I have no moon yet. And what I'm more interested in, and the planets are great, the moon's going to be great. I can't wait to do all of that. But I want to look at galaxies. I want to look at the
Andromeda
deep nebula.
Is visible.
What's that?
Andromeda, you should be able to see it. No, Andromeda, the Andromeda galaxy should be easily visible with this telescope, even with the original lenses. Did you get the application that came with the scope, the Sky Portal?
Yep. I've got that. Haven't used it yet.
Perfect.
But I have it. And so, yeah, I have the app. I'm going to figure out a couple of different ways to install it. And, of course, I have a couple of iPads, too, as well. But I've got an extra laptop or two lying around. It was strange to get an app on disc. Man, I haven't seen that in a long time. I was like, do I have a drive? Yeah, I have 2 brand new laptops, brand new, right? SSL drives, SSD drives, great. Neither of them have disk drives. No disk drives.
You can get the same app for the. Yeah, you can get the same app on the website if you want. So
yes, I saw that.
I was in the same position. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what's on your mind?
The one curiosity that I have, and I wonder if it's just me that I keep noticing this over and over in the UFO community, but it seems that there's been a lot of people talking about that there is some sort of link between consciousness and UFOs. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious if something that I just noticed or it's actually in the ether that people have been discussing it. And I'm curious what your opinion will be. Like
it's 100%. It's 100% real. 100%. I've got way too many.
In what way? Because
I've got too many experiences. I've got too many experiences myself personally. Now, I've heard other people talk, and everybody that has their experiences that have shared them with me, some kind of consciousness contact and communication. Okay, great, fantastic. But my own experiences have proven that to be true. And that's it. So I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's done. I don't have telepathy. I can't read people's minds. I don't have out-of-body experiences. I don't have these deep consciousness things, and I don't meditate. I don't do any of that stuff. And I don't practice the CE5 protocols. I don't do any of that. But what I have done is walked out underneath the night sky and said, man, I'm in a great mood. I want to see something right now. Show yourselves. That's in my mind. And I look up and I see something at that instant. And if I'm just walking out underneath the stars and I look up and I'm not thinking those thoughts, I'm not going to see anything. And it's happened all the time. I can't tell you how many times I looked up in the sky and haven't seen a thing. But if you walk out and you've popped that intention into your head and you look up and then there's something there. And that's all I need to know. The CE5 protocols and people out there that take this to the next level and they meditate and they're all into the, and they're, the silence and they're meditating and calling in the ships and all that. All right, there may be something to that. Probably is. But I don't practice any of that. But my interaction... Yeah, absolutely real. I remember I'm looking at the clock. We're going to have to head to a break here. But I remember the first time when I wanted to see something. I was with a bunch of people, a couple of hundred people. And I'm there, and I get handed the night vision, and everybody's whooping and hollering, and I looked right up above me at 12 o'clock, just straight up, put the night, and I watched this star go. I see the star, and it goes, and moves over like a foot, and I was like, what? And I look back up at that star that moved, and it went back to where it was. In this whole thing went down in 20 seconds. And I swear on all that is holy, I nearly fell over. I put the night vision down. I put my hands on my knees and I took a couple of breaths. I was like, holy crap. That happened on demand. that happened on demand. And if you know how it is, you've got cable TV, you take out your remote and you're looking at the program guide and you scroll down and you go, oh, okay, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is on in 15 minutes. And you scroll down and you hit play on your remote control and the movie pops up on the screen, right? That's what happened to me. It was like that on demand. And somebody just, that's never happened to me before. Right? It never has. So there is a consciousness connection. And I don't care how crazy it sounds. It's real. That's it. That's it. I don't care. I don't care what people say.
If you had to speculate, would you think that some people they might have more of a connection to that than other, or anybody do you think potentially, if they know what will click in the brain to actually make that connection,
it's
to experience the same thing?
It's beyond our knowledge right now. It's beyond our comprehension what is actually going on. When we talk about simple things like entanglement, spooky action at a distance, where a particle here can affect another particle on the other side of the universe at the same time. Well, your body is full of particles. Your body is nothing but particles. And your body is made up of carbon and stardust from a star that exploded, 5 billion years ago. That's what your body's made up of. And so for a particle in our body to interact and be able to be noticed by something else out there, an advanced extraterrestrial civilization, otherwise known as an ETC, where they understand what's going on and they are able to take advantage of it and respond to it. We don't know. We can't control it. We have no idea. We just don't. But an advanced civilization would understand those concepts. So they are responding to it. We, by just thinking these thoughts, okay, we can do that. We don't understand the implications of it and how a communication could be established and a bridge between us and something else, in our atmosphere or on the other side of the universe. We don't understand that, and it'll be a long time before we do. Physics is trying to wrap their head around these concepts and get the algorithms correct and trying to get a proof of concept together. The Chinese have done some entanglement test, and there have been some things that have been done at some pretty great distances. Is it all definitive proof? No, but I think that we pretty much understand that a particle, spinning in one direction, and the other particle spinning in the same direction, then they take this particle with a magnet and change its direction, and this particle, the other particle, changes its direction at the exact same time. This has been measured. So how do we turn that into communication? That's just particles. How do we turn that into communication? That's like one bit of information, right? And it's not a huge data stream. That would be a lot of entanglement. But again, way beyond my pay grade. Thank you for the phone call and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
You too. With that, I've got to take a break right here. Let's get that in. This is Fader Night. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. You want to get in line? Get in line now. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree That's coupon code 30 days free on forbiddenknowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network. KGRADB.com.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Patriot, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. All right. Man, I love Fader Night. I truly do. Your calls, your conversation. Let's get straight back to it. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Corey.
Hi, Corey. Where are you calling from?
From Lancaster, PA.
Lancaster, PA. Isn't that home
of the Amish?
Isn't that wasn't Poison from Lancaster?
Poison? I don't know. I'm a younger fellow, but
okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'll have the Fadernauts pop that up. Where was Poison from when they came out to California. Was it from Lancaster, PA? What's on your mind tonight, Corey?
I hope so. It'd be an honor. I got a lot of like mysterious paranormal stuff, like psychic stuff that I can talk about. So I'll just start with one thing. Like you introduced me to Whitley Strieber, and I'm really grateful for that. But I'd been listening to an old podcast of his from 2012, and I had like an epiphany about what the visitors mean, and like I could sort of feel the presence he talks about. And I was leaning against the wall, and I sat forward, and I had like an art book behind me, and it like sort of tore the page, and he heard it from 8 years before. He made this sound. He was like, whoosh. He was like, what was that? And I had just asked recently for something more than synchronicity, because like I just have endless synchronicity in many ways. But yeah, he heard me. And then he was like I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but apparently the implant is real. Like it was really astonishing.
One of the I can't believe you just mentioned, Whitley back in 2012. Those older shows, his new stuff too. I was just on Whitley's podcast last week. I don't know if it's up on his site yet or not, but if I used to listen to Whitley and Dreamland constantly, and I'm going way back, and those conversations that he had with his guest back then really inspired me, and just to listen to those, and I'm glad that you went back to 2012 to check that stuff out. Whitley today, and I consider him a really close friend and a good friend, and we talk a lot, and we do a lot of things together. But awesome. He is constant. He is not in the past. He is researching today. He is any new piece of information, he dives into it. And he will, give me a call. Jimmy, what do you think about this? I'm like, man, Whitley, Whitley's in it. You know what I mean? And he's concerned, and it's very impressive. He's always in motion. You know what I mean? And you would think, at some point you would be able to just go, okay, I can relax now. I've been doing this for a long time, right? I've been doing this for the community, but you know what?
Deal.
Yeah, and he is, I'm telling you, he is in it. He is in it. He is aware. The lights are on, and he is constantly in motion moving forward. And that's not to say that I'm serious. You go back and you listen to those older episodes of Dreamland and Unknown Country, and go and get into that stuff. Those conversations were deep, man. Deep, just amazing. Well, that too as well, but the Dreamland stuff was always Whitley's way, and the way that he did Unknown Country was him bringing on guests that interested him, and they would have these very, not only prolific, but very open, compassionate conversations that you would hear between two friends, and that was always his style. Yeah, I've stolen it. I don't care. Whitley knows that, but there's something about that where they just open up and go somewhere. The problem with you brought up Art Bell. The problem with and I only know this firsthand. I can make this comment. There's only a few people on this planet that can talk about what it's like to host Coast to Coast. I'm one of them, and I did it for 6.5 years. And at the same time that I'm hosting Coast to Coast, I'm doing Fade to Black. And the two shows couldn't be further apart, because coast to coast, I have FCC, I have regulations, I have you're on the show that is owned by a ginormous corporation, and you're in the corporate structure. And that, as fun as Coast to Coast was, it's not the same as Fade to Black. And here I can do whatever I want and just have a freedom of, and that was the same thing with Whitley. Whitley on Coast, I don't know did I ever interview Whitley on Coast? I know we talked about it. And I never, that's right, I never interviewed Whitley because he's got a long-standing relationship with George. And the people that I brought on the Coast were my own vibe, right? I wouldn't bring on guests that George would interview. Right. It's just not cool, And so anyway, I never had a chance to get Whitley on Coast to Coast, although we talked about it. But Whitley on Coast and Whitley on Dreamland, two different people. Because you're restricted. You're restricted. And you're also Whitley on Coast, he's being asked the questions. Whitley on Dreamland, Whitley on Unknown Country, Whitley is steering the boat. Right? And it's a whole different vibe. So I'm really glad, Corey, that you brought that up. And I would tell anybody, I hope Whitley is listening right now and smiling. I would tell anybody, and I do it all the time, go and listen to Dreamland. Go and listen. The new stuff, the old stuff. What's that?
Got to up.
Say that again. Let's try that again, Corey. What did you say?
I think the older shows, you got to subscribe to his, you got to go to the actual website and become a member type thing.
Right. Right.
Or I don't know, maybe you can find the podcasts. Maybe somebody uploaded the podcast because that's how I got some of it. People loaded recent stuff. Did you hear the one story? I'm curious what your favorite thing is that he might have said. But when he was talking to Art Bell, he talked about when he had his son and a friend, his son's friend, and they drove into a different dimension or something like that, and there was buildings made of some sandy colored buildings, I forget, and then when he got back to drop the kid off with his dad, the kid told his dad, "Whitley took me to the Twilight Zone."
I do remember hearing that. Man, that's going back though. But yeah, I do remember I probably heard that live because I didn't listen to replays of Coast to Coast. So if I heard that, I heard it live. But one of the and I tried to do this on Fade to Black a couple of times a few years ago with Whitley. I remember him on Dreamland, and he did a series of shows with some guests where he was talking about the blue visitors and who they represented and how he made this transformation from them being E.T. to them being us in the afterlife. And I mean, wow. My whole head just just my God. And I've gotten Whitley to talk about this a lot, but it was nothing like on Fade to Black, like it was the first times he was, referencing this on his own show, where he was comfortable and got in depth with it. But I tried to capture that magic and I'm telling you, I remember one night specifically about, the blue beings. I listened to that show 3 times in one night. I started it over and listened to it again in his Whitley monotone, his Whitley calming voice. And he's just going through this. I'm like, man, this is life-changing stuff. And he's just so calmly going through it. And I'm in the dark. I'm listening to this in my bedroom at night in the dark, just seeing all of this in my mind's eye. And I love that stuff, Corey. I love it. I'm glad you brought it up. I encourage everybody, go over to Unknown Country, get registered, and go back into the archives, man, and listen to Whitley in 2010. Go do it. It's just incredible. Corey, enjoy the rest of your weekend, my man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you too. God bless, Jimmy.
Yeah, right on. That's a great phone call right there. Was Poison... Somebody help me out. Did somebody post it? Was Poison from Lancaster? I'm like 30 minutes from Lancaster. Okay, yeah, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking about Poison. Was Poison from Lancaster, PA? My memory, which means nothing if I'm trying to recall something from the 80s, okay? It absolutely means nothing. But my memory says Poison was from Lancaster, PA. That's my memory. Hold on for a second. I'm going to pull this up. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb.
Hey, Deb. How are you?
Good. I was actually just Googling Poison for you, but then you picked up the call, so now I got to get off that app.
Okay. Well, no, I've got it here. Oh, no, that's the Poison website. I don't want the Poison website. I want Poison Wikipedia. What's on your mind tonight?
Group, right.
What's on your mind?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me a duality, because there's Deb from Sacramento and there's Deb from Modesto. And it turns out that Deb from Modesto is my nefarious clone. And so from time to time, she may call in, or it may be me, Deb from Sacramento. And depending on the content of the conversation, I suppose it's up for you to decide who you've spoken to. But that's what's up with that right now.
I have no idea what you just said, but they are from, They are from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, which is 10 miles from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there we are. Yeah, my girlfriend was a big Poison fan. She used to listen to them all the time, so I'm familiar with some of their stuff.
I saw a video. I saw a video. Man, everybody's going to laugh at me. About a week ago, and I was doing my 80s long hair video stuff, and I was working on the weekend. This is last weekend. And this video pops up from Poison. Had to be at the very, very beginning. But it was them doing a New Year's Eve countdown. Like they were doing bands live. I think it was MTV. And they're doing bands live, and so forth. And now to Poison. And Poison played a song and they did the countdown to New Year's Eve. But the audience, there's like 100 people, 200 people in the audience. And Poison was playing like that was an arena of 25,000 people, putting it out. But I was like, wow. And it was live. It was them really playing, and I stopped and watched the whole thing. And I watched like 3 Poison songs, and I'll say it, I rather enjoyed it. Okay, so what's on your mind?
So you realized early that they were a genius band. So you have that knack for recognizing really good music when you hear it.
No, that's not true. But I did see Poison. Okay, let me explain. I saw Poison. I saw Poison in like 1984, 1985 at the Roxy, and they played for the waitresses that night. There was like 50 people there, but I got the vibe, and I thought that they were pretty fun and total glam. But it was then they released their album, and it was about a year later, and I couldn't believe this because to me, Poison was just a band from Hollywood. And I didn't understand the national implications of this. But I fly home. My parents lived in Greer, Spartanburg, South Carolina. So I fly home, and my mom says, pick up Kevin from high school. And she tosses me the keys to the car. I said, okay. So I drive to pick up my brother from high school. And I pull up in this parking lot, and I'm in a line of cars. And I get out of the car, and I hear in the parking lot, like from 5 different locations, poison being cranked up by the in the parking lot. And I'm like, poison is popular, right? And I was like, what?
I just heard them. Yeah, I just heard them.
Well, it's not even that. They were friends of mine, right? I mean, they were just a band from Hollywood. But I didn't realize how quickly, and this was in South Carolina, right? This wasn't New York or Miami or Chicago or whatever. This is Spartanburg, South Carolina at the high school. And my brother comes over, hey, man, what's up? I go, poison? Yeah, man, they rock. I was like, what? This is blowing my mind. And we talked all the way home about this. I was just freaked out about how that was the national thing. And you got to remember, you had MTV, but you didn't have the internet. You didn't have any of that.
Right.
So I wasn't aware. It wasn't like on Entertainment Tonight, and they were talking about poison being a national. No, you didn't have any of that. And it freaked me out. And so, it wasn't me. It was the rest of the country. They figured out poison. I had, at that point, I had no idea. I don't think anybody in Hollywood really knew. But anyway, okay.
Isn't it cool getting freaked out and having your mind blown without substances?
I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. Okay, so what's on your mind?
Real quick, I've got a riddle for you, and then I've got a question. My riddle is, what is the difference between European heaven and European hell?
Letters?
European heaven, the police are British, the food is French, the trains are German, and the sex is Italian. European hell, the food is British, the police are French, the trains are Italian, and the sex is German.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's good.
You're not laughing. That's a funny joke.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's not a joke. That's a fact.
Oh, okay.
That's a fact.
I think it's funny.
That's a fader fact. I'll do that as a fader fact.
Okay, very good. And the question for you is, when you tell these stories of your youth, when you were a kid and getting busted with stuff, and you and Dave Schrader were talking one night about things that you did as kids and you got caught, and I remember he went to this haunted house. It got me thinking as to what was the thing that I did, the worst thing I did as a kid, like a 10-year-old, that I got caught and busted on. And I remember what it was. But first I wanted to ask you, do you have one?
I've got hundreds.
Pick one.
Pick one? We're going to run out of time. Pick one,
well,
something
that...
Okay, go ahead.
Let me tell mine real quick, and maybe it'll trigger one of your memories, okay? During the time my mom was married a couple years to my stepdad, and he worked for Lockheed, and he was really into archery, okay? And he'd meet with his archery group, and he'd take me and my sister out to watch them shoot archery, and she wasn't into it, but I was. So he made me my own archery set, and it wasn't a play set. It was real arrows, and he even let me help pick out the feathers that he glued to it and everything. So when they divorced, she didn't want me to have that archery set, and he made sure he brought it over one day for me anyway, and she locked it up. She's like, you're never going to use that thing. It's too dangerous. So one day when she was at work, my cousin was over, and we were always hanging out as kids, and he took some pliers and he broke the lock off, and I took out my archery set. And I went all the way across the street, and I hadn't used it in a long time, and I was like 10 years old. And I thought, I'm going to stand all the way across the street, and I'm going to aim right at her bedroom window and see if I can make it that far. And thinking I would never go that far. It was probably about 100 feet. Okay. So I pull it back and the arrow flies all the way through. And the next thing I know, I'm looking and I'm going, is the arrow stuck to the window? No, the arrow went through the window. I broke her bedroom window right in the front of the house. So my sister and I were all panicked. We're like, what are we going to do to get away with this? And so, being kids, we're like, we look at the, hole. It went straight through, and there's glass all over her dresser. And we're like, well, we'll just say some kids ran by and threw a rock and ran off laughing, So we go and find a rock. We put it on the dresser. We tell her this story. And the problem is the rock was bigger than the hole in the window. So I got busted. I got restriction for like a week. I would have rather she gave me a spanking. She never spanked us, but restriction was brutal because all your rights were taken away. Now, does that bring any triggers to you?
I've got a million stories like that. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I've got 2 minutes before the break. I'm going to tell this as fast as I can. Down in Panama, this is all allegedly, this is just the rumors that happen when you're a kid that pass around. But anyway, so tuna boats are everywhere in Panama. They go out and lobster boats and fishing boats. They go out and they come back and they bring in fresh fish. Well, there was this thing. It was called a tuna bomb, and it was like an explosive. Maybe 6 inches long, maybe an inch in diameter, about that big, and that they would light and they would throw in the water to get schools of tuna fish, blow up, and get schools of tuna fish to go into the nets. That's what we were told. So a friend of mine down the street, his name's Eddie, gets a bunch of these tuna bombs, and he gives me one. Okay? I have no idea what I've got. But so me and my friend, Paul Levy, his dad was the vice principal of our high school. My dad is out of country. He's gone with my mom. They're on Army band. They're touring somewhere. They're gone. I'm home alone. And so I had this model airplane that I had built of a Mirage, French Mirage 3. And I had finished it, but I didn't like it. And so I decide I take the engine out of the back of the model plane, and I put the tuna bomb in the back of the plane, and I set it out in the middle of our street. This is on an Army base, and I decide to blow up the plane. So me and my friend, Paul, we go out, and the plane is sitting in the middle of the street. This is at night. And it's dark. It's probably 8 o'clock. And we light the fuse and we run behind my house and we're on the back patio, peeking around the corner, looking at it, wondering what's going to happen. And this thing goes boom. And it was a mini mushroom cloud and lights up the whole friggin' street, if not the whole Army base. And it was like, I don't know what a hand grenade sounds like, but this was 1,000 times louder. This was like a stick of dynamite, right? And I'm like, oh my God. And we run in the back of my house, into the house, and sit down and have a heart attack. And I look out the windows, and every neighbor on the street is outside, and everybody is in the Army, right? And they're all outside wondering what's going on. Okay, it's like a week later, my dad and I go sailing. My dad comes back, and we're sailing. And we come back from sailing. We're at the yacht club. We're downstairs sitting at the bar. I'm literally eating like fried shrimp and drinking a Coke. And I see these two plainclothes cops come down the stairs and walk into the bar and look right at me. Right?
Oh, crap.
And I thought, oh, man. And I knew, and they walk right up and they said, are you Jimmy Church? I said, yeah. And my dad goes, what did you do? And the cop goes, we would like to talk to your son about some dynamite. Right? I was like,
no.
What? And my dad's like, dynamite? And I go, no. It wasn't dynamite. Yes, it was. We've been interviewing and we talked to your neighbors and you blew up a stick of dynamite in front of your house. My dad's like, what did you do? I go, Dad, it wasn't. It was a tuna bomb. And the cop's like, what's a tuna bomb? And I'm like, and so it went from, I swear to God, in front of these cops, it was, 6 inches long and an inch around. By the time I was done, I told the story so many times. I was like, it was the size of my pinky finger. It was about this big. It was a little tiny little thing. It wasn't. No, it was. And I knew what it was. That thing was, and that's how I got busted. And I never told my dad. And I don't even know. What I think happened was, and I'm blowing right through the commercial. I got to run. What I think happened was, obviously, they called, the people on the street all called the police. Police come out, and they're interviewing everybody, and they kind of narrowed it down to me, right? And it was in front of my house. Yeah.
Sweet little Jimmy.
Yep.
Love it. Hey, Stacy with an eye is on hold. Be sure to get her through. She's got a sighting. I got to let you go, okay?
Okay, I'll talk to you. Bye.
Thanks, Jimmy. Bye.
This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, taking a quick break right here. Thursday night, Fader night. Yeah, it was this big. By the end of the interrogation, it was just this tiny little black cat firecracker. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Fader night, Thursday night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. Boom. I'm serious. Boom. I couldn't believe what happened, and I was expecting a little, this thing, man. It was a mushroom cloud right there, and it's just the whole thing rolled. It was nuts. It was nuts. I think there was a crack in the street, actually, too, as well. All right, that really happened. I will never forget the look on my dad's face. He was so angry. Not so much about the explosion and what I did. That's part of growing up. But it was bringing the police, man, straight to him. He didn't dig that part. He did not. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Stacy with an I.
Hey, Stace. Didn't Deb just say you were on hold?
She did. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. And you're just next in line. Wow, that's cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to call and compare and contrast triangle sightings from the weekend. I was in Crestone. I have waxed poetic to you about Crestone over dinner. Mm-hmm. I was there with Ricardo Gonzalez last weekend, and I, of course, had texted about my sighting to the girls. And the next day, I think it was either Lucinda or Lisa, they said, you need to get on service and see Jimmy's live, your Facebook Live. And so when you saw your triangle craft, were you looking through night vision?
Both. Naked? Okay. No, everything. We did binoculars, naked eye, and night vision. I didn't put the telescope on it because aiming and pointing that telescope is a chore because I don't have it aligned correctly. But binoculars, night vision, naked eye.
Nice. Well, okay, let me set the scene for the weekend. I was up there with Ricardo Gonzalez, who's my favorite teacher, and as a friend and assistant to Paula, she puts on this event hosting Ricardo. So we also had Paul Hynek there this weekend, so that was a lot of fun. He is very funny. We also were really honored to be able to host Demi Lovato and her entourage. So we had been listening to Ricardo's lectures all day and then went out and meditated in the field. And it's not a C5 that he does. It's not really a contact protocol. We had just been listening to his teachings all day and then meditating on Paula's land about peace and love. But we always watch this guy because he is a contactee. And so the first thing we saw, it very much looked like it could have been the ISS, but the ISS was not passing them. I had checked earlier. Mm-hmm. And that it didn't wow me, but it was interesting. And then all of a sudden, about the size of my hand, if my arm was extended at full length, up above us was an isosceles triangle shape of lights that were moving. They were huge, like the size of the planets, really, really big. And they were moving all together. And they were, I spied it when it was about zenith and got to watch it, probably for about 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden, the formation changed and like the points all came together and then vanished. And I've seen a lot of things in the sky. A lot of them were with you. This one totally got me. It was the craziest thing I have seen.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, the 3 points of light, by the way, any 3 points of light, and it's funny how I think about this. Any three dots are a triangle, right? You can't make
It's
three
true.
dots.
Yeah,
You can't make three
exactly.
dots a square, right? So
Exactly.
3 dots are always going to be a triangle, and so. But they're moving across the sky, and you're saying that it's about the size of your hand if your arm is extended. So that's a pretty substantial thing. But you don't know if the 3 dots are connected to one solid craft, or they could be 3 separate.
Exactly.
Okay.
They moved as if one, but I could see stars through there.
Okay. So, putting that aside, let's just stay with the 3 points of light, right? So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that those 3 points of light then came together as 1 point of light.
Yes.
Now that takes things to another level. That's pretty cool. And then after that, then what happened? The single point of light did what?
It vanished.
What do you mean it vanished?
It was gone. So I don't know if it had moved so far away that we just couldn't see it anymore, or if it disappeared.
Interesting. And it lasted for 30 seconds.
Yes. A good solid 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's a good sighting. That's a real sighting. I'm full
it was
on.
fantastic.
I'm full on gel. Our what Eric and I saw, and there's some follow up to this too as well. What Eric and I saw, and I still can't really explain it. I'm not explaining it correctly. Okay, so when I was looking at this object with my naked eye, it looked like a single point of light that was changing colors. And it was changing colors from very obvious, rapidly, from 3 colors, white, green, and red. And when you look at stuff for a long time in the sky with your naked eye, sometimes it can get a little blurred. You can, one star will look like 2 stars. You can't really tell. Am I looking at 2 things? Is it moving? And that just comes from trying to focus on something that you're in the dark and it's far away, and your eyes start playing tricks on you. I always back off of something and look at the ground and get my eyes situated again, and then look back at it, because then it's a single point of light again. Because the more that you look at it, it starts to get funky. But anyway,
play with you. Yeah.
But this particular thing was obviously changing colors, white, red, and green, like this, like very fast. And the more that I looked at it, it appeared to me that it was moving from left to right very, very fast. And it wasn't like doing it up and down. It seemed like this was happening. And the more that I looked at it, it looked like there were 2 points of light underneath and then one on top. Now, this was with the naked eye. So then I break out my binoculars, which are really good, and I look at it. And sure enough, in the binoculars, and I have a post in my backyard, and I'm putting the binoculars up on the post, because if you're holding the binoculars, your hands are moving. And so this object is moving. Yeah. So I'm leaning against the post. I put the binoculars on the post, and I'm touching it, and I'm looking, and man, this thing was triangular. There was definitely 2 lights on the bottom, 1 on the top, and changing colors, and 2 lights on the bottom, 1 on the top. So, which would mean I'm looking at this sideways. I'm not looking at the triangle from the bottom, right? I'm looking at it off into the distance, and it's a triangle shape. And Eric felt like it was a platform, like maybe the top light was closer to us and the back to, and it was a triangle shape, but it was elongated. That's the way that he saw it, and that's fine. Then when I looked at it in the night vision, I really started to trip out, because I could see that it was clearly 3 points of light in the night vision. Now, the night vision is in color. Now, okay, so, and it stayed in the same spot in the sky. And the other, for a long time, it was out there. And for like an hour. All the other stars are moving. I'm watching Jupiter, in an hour move right in the sky. But not this. This thing is just staying right in the same spot in the sky. Now, a little follow-up to this. So last night, I walk out. I have a balcony off of my bedroom, and so it's on the second floor. So I walk out onto the balcony, and I'm just, this is about 1 o'clock in the morning last night after the show. I was watching a movie and stuff, and so I just walked out on the and I looked, and that object wasn't where we had seen it before. It was there, but now it's over here, and it's like, and instead of being northeast, it's now like directly east, and I'm like, wait, what? Come on. And I'm sitting there last night, and I almost did everything last night. I was going to go get the night vision. I was going to go get the binoculars at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, screw it. I'm going to wait until tonight. And I'm going to go out there at the same time and see what is up. But that was pretty bizarre. And there was another thought that I had, Stacy, and I think I mentioned this last night on the show, which is I was trying to convince myself that this is a star, and it is a star changing colors, right? Because if it's not a star changing colors and it's an object in our atmosphere that is just parking itself up there, that's okay. We're going into crazy town. Right? We are. We're going into crazy town. But
we're already in crazy town, Jimmy.
I know. I need this to be a star, because if it's not a star, and I'm being very, very serious right now, Stacy, because if it's something else and it's not a star, then what the hell are we talking about? But this is where I have a problem with it being a star. If it was a star, don't you think that we would have been raised as kids about the Christmas blinking star, right? That we would have heard about this our entire lives, and we would have seen it a million times, and that's the red, white, and green Christmas star. Whatever it is, whatever. But I've never heard of it. And I went and looked today on the internet, this was after last night, to see if I can't find any references anywhere about this phenomenon. And now I've seen it at 2 spots in the sky, and I can't explain it, and I don't know what's going on. And I don't hear anybody else talking about this. I don't. I've talked about it a lot. Normally, I get a lot of interaction, right? Letters, email, something pops up in Twitter. This is actually what you're looking at, Jimmy. And Mark D'Antonio will go, dude, this is what you're. Come on, don't be a doofus. This is what's going on. It's an atmospheric phenomenon caused by the refraction of light. With the sun setting on another part of the Earth, and it reflect right, and the apex and the apogee, and where the point of you get some crazy explanation from somebody that knows what they're talking about. In this case, I haven't. And I have never heard of anybody talking about a green, white, red blinking star. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And that now, but the other crazy part is it's in a different spot in the sky last night. And so
that's what's really curious.
Yeah, if it's a star, it's in the same trajectory, right? It's in the same spot in the sky, and the Earth is rotating, and you've got its orbit around the sun, and the stars in the sky and the Milky Way, they all have the same movement, and we're used to that.
Right.
But not from southeast to now directly east. No, that doesn't happen.
So do you not have one of the apps on your phone that will identify stars for you?
Of course I do. What are you?
Okay. Well, because then you could say it's not a star for sure.
Are you playing with me? I have right here.
I know you have all the toys.
I have Night Sky loading right now. Here it is. Here it is. This is the app that I use, and it's now playing.
Yes, I know that music.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Night Sky, and Night Sky is great because this is it. I'm going to point this to the camera, so you can move this anywhere. Right? And you can look, if you point it to the ground, so that's up pointing, and that's a console. But if you point it to the ground, you can see where the stars are on the other side of the Earth. That's right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's Night Sky.
Well, and you don't have to wait for nighttime to, like, identify stars. I find that kind of fun, to go out during the day and see what would be up there.
Yeah, okay, so I will do Night Sky tonight and see what happens. Okay. But good sighting out there in Crestone.
It was fantastic. And I just really quick want to just give everyone a heads up that Starworks, which is November 12th through 14th, is still live and happening in person. We're working with the state of Nevada to make sure that happens, but we have to limit how many tickets are sold. So there's still tickets, but there's a cap. So if people want to go, they need to get those tickets soon.
And that's November 12th through the 14th. Nice plug there, Stacy. November 12th through the 14th.
Yeah, but if you go to
StarWorksUSA.com.
Yep,
StarWorksUSA.com. And
of course, Jimmy will be there.
Yeah.
We have Jacques Vallée, Paula Harris, Paul Hynek, just a whole bunch of people. Grant Cameron. Everyone should be there. Everyone needs to hang out.
November 12th through the 14th. It's going to be great. I love that. I love that hotel. And Laughlin is just beautiful. And in November, it's not going to be too hot.
I know. It's going to be perfect.
Yeah, I can't wait. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Me too.
Thank you so much,
I know.
Stacey.
I'm looking forward to seeing you too. Have a good night, Jimmy.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. That is Stacy with an I. Stacy with an I. Let's see who is up next. Oh, over here. Man, been on hold for a long time. I'm going to go over here. Feel bad about this. But that's the way it goes. Thursday night, Fader night. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Donna.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. I've got Voodoo right now. They just put communion on their streaming.
Who? Voodoo?
Yeah, the streaming app.
Oh, Hulu.
Voodoo. VUDU.
Oh, I don't have Voodoo. What is Voodoo?
Yeah, it used to be a Walmart thing, but they branched out with now they're with Fandango.
Oh, okay. And what do they have on Voodoo?
They've got communion on there.
Oh, they've got communion. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been wanting to tell you that. Also, they've got those two attraction movies I told you about earlier, a while back, the Russian movies that I really loved.
Yes.
They got those on there. You watch all three of those for free.
All right, so it's Voodoo, VUDU.
Yeah, you can get the app on your Apple TV device.
Oh, thank you so much. You are the best, Donna.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
go ahead.
You get the CW app on there, and you can go on, and this is they've got the Superman and Lois TV series, all the episodes of it, and it's the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. I mean, yeah, it is absolutely the best. It's got Superman and Lois married, and they have twin teenage sons on there, and it's telling the story of how they're raising their boys and they're working.
Right.
It's really good.
I have been
watching. Try that.
I just finished season 2 of For All Mankind. About and what is great about that? I think that's on Apple TV. It might be Disney Plus. But
yeah, I've heard of it.
It's great, and it's what if the space race didn't stop? right? And so the competition continued. And it's really funny because
what if Russia made it to the moon before us?
Right. And so we both have a moon base up there right now, and it's pretty gnarly. But anyway, Apollo 17, right, when it all ended. In this series, I think they're up to like Apollo 75, right? And it's pretty cool. And I'm not going to give away the ending to season 2. But I got to tell you, that is a great, great, great series. And also, Rick and Morty just posted up 2 new episodes, and they took like a month off, and it was really bumming me out. So they've got 2 new episodes up, and I don't want to give those away, but they're about 2 crows, both episodes. The crows continue. And for all of you Rick and Morty fans out there, go and check it out. Donna, I got to head to a break. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. This is Thursday night. It is Fader night with open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Take a quick break. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to getthetea.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's getthetea.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRARadio.com.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard, available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. A lot of calls have been on hold for a while, and let's get straight back to it. It's your calls, your conversation, unscripted, unfiltered, uncensored, all of it going down on Thursday night, Fade to Black. It is truly the greatest night of talk radio in all of the world. Let's go back to the phone. Turn me down in the background. Turn me down. Turn me down. You're live. Okay. All right. And just like that, been on hold for an hour and 15 minutes. You got to be ready to go. Got to be ready to go. I'm going in order. Let's see if this person is ready to go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Uncle Bob out in California.
This is who?
Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bernals, California.
Right on, Bob. What's on your mind?
I want to comment on your consciousness, having an effect on these sightings and stuff. Me and my son, almost every time we get together, we see something, that, you can't be explained in the sky. There was just one time, we were coming back from Sonora, and there was 3 cars in front of us, and all of a sudden the two in front of the one in front of us, she's like rainbow haze, and they made a right turn at about 40 miles an hour straight into the mountain and disappeared. There was no road there. It was just the mountain. And the people that were in front of us pulled over, like going, hey, what the heck, And it took me a minute to realize what we just seen, And actually my son pointed it out. And I don't know if you ever seen anything like that.
I have not, Bob. I have not. Are you sure you guys weren't smoking the...
like I said, the people in front of us see it. They said they had to pull over, shake their heads.
Oh, so you were smoking the puff, but but the other car saw it too, so the puff didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. And like I say, everybody's seen it. We had to hit our brakes, because they started to slow down, but they were still going, like I say, about 40 miles an hour. And they made a right turn straight into the mountain and disappeared.
Why didn't you follow them? That's what I would have done. I would have followed him. Yeah. So this was like Buckaroo Banzai, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it almost made me wonder if you stopped, if that was just like a hologram there or something, because there was nothing. There was just a rock mountain right there,
Well, what do you think happened?
I think that there's like a portal there or something that is covered with a hologram or something. Maybe the mountain's hollow. We look for it every time on the way back, but I can't find the exact spot.
That's like an episode of Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Made a right turn from Sonora to the Twilight Zone.
Back from Sonora. It was just outside of Oakdale, and like I say, we had to brake, because their brake lights came on, and they just took a right turn. There was nothing there. It was just a mountain, a rock mountain, you know.
Wow.
And,
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thank you for the phone call, Bob.
All right, you have a good one.
Yeah, you too. That's a great phone call right there. I've seen a lot of crazy things. I ain't never seen anything quite like that. The Corey was saying earlier about Whitley Strieber and the story about the two kids, Whitley's son. The passing through, I believe. Now, of course, I've talked about this a lot, but I believe that we don't understand physics and the universe and parallel worlds and things. We don't, and all of this stuff has to exist. You know, last night with Matthew Johnson on the show, talking about dimensions and passing through and what could possibly exist on around us, and we just don't see it, and we're not in that frequency. Now, look, I've talked about this a lot, but not only with our vision, because we only see a certain slice of the spectrum, and it's a very narrow spectrum. So, on either side of that spectrum, what is there that we can't see? I'm being very serious. And the same thing occurs in audio. And, we hear a very small slice of the audio spectrum. And it's possible to have phase cancellation of audio signals, and you don't hear. An example, noise-canceling headphones, right? And it cancels out the noise. How does that work? The same ideas have to apply to light. And is it possible to phase cancel out? Of course, happens all the time. So what is it? Now, we don't know. But if that is possible, then, driving down the road and going through something and arriving somewhere else that isn't necessarily here, is that possible? Of course, I believe that it is. And I think that physics says it is so. Having that apply to time travel or going through something else and arriving at another time destination, I can't explain that away. But I've had, that stupid Zeppelin experience that I went through once, and I still I can't explain that. The disappearing house. I can't explain the disappearing house. I can't do it. It doesn't. There's nothing that I can say about that. And there was something else I wanted to mention, and it just got away from me. But if it comes back, is this? And if you're on hold, stay right there. I know you're listening to me. I'll get to you in just a second. I've told this story before, but it's a true story, and I have a hard time thinking about this. But I had a pickup truck. This was in the mid '80s, and it was a Nissan King Cab, and that was weird. Okay, I'm back. And across this, I had to go somewhere, and I had my memory at the time, I had a half a tank of gas, and I take off, and I had to go somewhere, and I decided to take a shortcut. Okay, yeah, there is something strange going on with my software. And I've just brought in 3 calls and brought them in, and they're dropping. Let me see if they're going over here in the background. No, they're not. Okay. Okay, let me write this down. Car in hood. I'm going to come back to this story, but I want to see if my system is running. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Okay, we're on. Hey, Jimmy, what's up? It's Morgan.
Morgan, turn me down in the background.
It is, my friend. You turn down, brother.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Hey, man, you saw a UFO, right?
I've seen many UFOs.
But when you saw a UFO, you were talking.
Okay, I've got a problem with my software, my phone system. Are you still there? Yeah, it's popping up saying that there are issues, and I'm getting this warning. That's what's very strange here. Let me do this. Morgan, are you there? Okay, I'm going to... Yeah, my software is locked up. It is officially locked. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, my software's acting up. What did you hear? Could you hear me?
My brother, I can hear you.
Okay, weird. Okay.
So my brother-in-law saw a UFO the other night. When was it on the Monday? It was Monday, and he'd seen it in his backyard. He took pictures of it. When I see you Saturday, I want to show them to you.
Oh, you're coming out Saturday?
Yeah. I'll be in Pasadena Saturday.
Oh, excellent. Looking forward to it.
Man, I am too, man. I'm so proud of you, man. I love you, bro.
Okay, so what's in these pictures?
So basically, what he did is he turned his night vision on his.
Oh man, literally it says we ran into a problem. Reboot. Oh man, Morgan, are you there? I'm going to reboot my software. I can't even turn you off. This is acting funky. Okay, this is weird, man. Okay, let me try this. No, I can't. Okay. It just closed out. Okay, let me see if this will happen. No. Okay, this is strange. This is strange. I've never had a warning pop up saying it ain't happening. Please restart. Okay, well, I just did. Okay, let me see here. Okay. This is crazy. I've never had this happen. Okay, I'm going to... Don't even tell me I have to reboot my system. Okay. All right, yes. We're going to go here. And this should log in just fine. I did a hard restart. Okay. Now, 747-228-2051. Everybody that I just hung up on, all of you, just call back, and I'll see what happens here. That's strange. I apologize for that, Morgan, and the 5 callers. Okay, now let's see. Oh, it's a different color. Oh, this is weird. I got a different Okay. All right. Let's see if this is working. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, it's Dwayne Morgan again.
This is Dwayne Morgan?
Dwayne Morgan.
You didn't tell me it was Dwayne Morgan. You said Morgan. You didn't tell me it was you.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay. All right. Hold on a minute. Everybody has to know who is... You've never called into the show.
I haven't, man, because I never really felt like I had anything important enough to say, but now I do.
Okay, now stop right there. I'm going to tell everybody who you are.
All right.
You are Yngwie Malmsteen. Okay, all right. Let me back. Yeah. I'll never forget that night. Okay, so back when I was a kid, and Dwayne, keep everything clean on this show. Okay, so let's not talk about the who, the what, the where. But back when I was a kid in Indianapolis, I meet Dwayne, and I meet Dwayne from a friend of ours who's no longer with us, Tony Calger. And Tony passed away, right?
That's right. And so did Sue.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I get introduced to Dwayne in Indianapolis, and Dwayne says, "Hey, man, I'm from Pasadena, man." And I said, okay. And he said, if you ever come out to California, you want to come out, man, give me a call.
Jimmy, you're important. You're forgetting the important part, dude. Van Halen's from Pasadena.
Yes. And so we had this whole Van Halen thing. Okay, so anyway, a year later, I give Dwayne a call, and I'm like, I'm coming to California. When? Tomorrow. Okay. And so it was Dwayne, the gentleman that I'm speaking to now, that is responsible for this radio program, because it was Dwayne. It was Dwayne. That's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, brother. It was Dwayne that almost 40 years ago, 35 years ago, that was 1984, 35, 34, 30, I don't know, who brought me out to California. And Dwayne, I love you. We're brothers, and we'll be brothers forever. Now, I want to tell the I'm going to tell the Yngwie Malmsteen story. So this is what happens. We are.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hang on, Dwayne. Dwayne, I'm going to put you on hold for. You know what? No. Just so anyway, we go to the movies, and we're at Hastings Ranch. And it's myself, it's Dwayne, it's Rob Cazares, Brian Olson was there, and I think there may have been a fifth that was there. Anyway, so we all go and we go to the movies. After the movies, we're in the parking lot, and we're smoking pot. And there's a lot of kids. There's a lot, it was a summer night, whatever, and a cop rolls up on us. And gets out of his car, turns his lights on, and obviously we're smoking pot in the parking lot, and so they come up and they're hitting us all for our IDs. Now, nobody had. Somehow the joint disappeared. Right? Okay.
I ate it.
Okay, so probably. So anyway, so the cops are going down, and I whip out my ID. Everybody whips out their ID. They come up to Dwayne, and Dwayne goes, I don't have my ID. And the cop's got a notepad, right? And he goes, okay, so what's your name? And he goes, Yngwie. And the cop goes, Yngwie. All right, how do you spell that? And I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And the cop goes, okay, Yngwie. What's your last name? Malmsteen. Okay, all right. And the cop's writing it down, Yngwie Malmsteen, and they call it in. And I'm like, dude, you're not doing this right now. And the cop comes back and says, all clear on Yngwie. All right. So Yngwie had no warrant out for his arrest. What if Yngwie had a warrant out, right? We're taking you in.
I think when I got older, I did something to get him in trouble. He might be mad at me right now.
And that's a true story, man. That really happened. Man. God. And that
was... man, I want to tell a quick true story, Jim.
Okay, keep it clean.
All those guitars, all your fans are seeing back there.
Yeah.
I got to see this gentleman play them guitars for me in front of my face every day for years.
Yes, I did.
I so appreciate that, because Jimmy is one of my favorite guitar players. So if you haven't heard him, I'm sorry, but I have.
Yeah, you heard me a lot. You were.
I was your roadie.
You were my roadie for a while there, and yeah. I remember specifically. I remember
and we would drive the station wagon, and the exhaust would come through the back window and choke us all the way to La Fuente.
Man, I remember one night specifically. I got so mad at you. We were playing the Troubadour, and I needed another guitar. And I turn around, and my guitar's not there. And I look at you, and you're standing down in the audience with a beer. And I'm like, I need a guitar. And Dwayne, my tech, is partying in front of me. He doesn't even know what's going on. And you were just having fun watching the band. So I had to turn around and find a guitar and a case and get out another guitar. But I was so mad at you, man.
I think that was my last night working with you.
It might have been. It might have been. Dwayne Morgan. Okay, so tell me about this UFO sighting.
Well, I wasn't there, so I wish I was. You know, it was my sighting because I was at the house last week in his backyard, same spot he sat. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" And I'm just trying to summon a UFO. You know, if you meditate on it, you know, you can summon them. You know, and he thinks I'm crazy. You know, and then we take off, and like a day or two later, he starts sending us videos and pictures. And this is Monday, right?
Wow.
And I'm thinking, oh man, he's just messing with me. He's just, you know, because he thinks I'm, you know, got the tinfoil hat on. And so I'm listening to you on your show right now, and I just jumped in, but I'm pretty sure you said you were in your backyard and you saw the triangular shaped UFO.
Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was Saturday night.
You see, there, huh? And he saw his yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it again last night. So
and then the triangular one that he saw was like, okay, now he didn't see it with the naked eye. He turned his camera. He's got one of these fancy phones that flips out. It's a really cool phone, but he put it on night vision, and he took a picture. And then when he looked back at the picture, because he couldn't see it with his naked eye, he, you know, since our conversation kind of brought up his curiosity, and he kind of wanted to see, you know, what he could capture. And he captured this triangular shaped UFO, and this was last night, around 10:30. Yeah,
wow.
Around 10:30 last night. Yeah,
wow.
And so I got the picture. It's these 3 dots that are spread really far apart, but they make a perfectly triangular shape.
Right.
And we were just wondering if it was the same
And
phenomenon.
we're just wondering if it's something that kind of matches up with what you saw.
Yeah, well, I can't wait.
Sounds like the same sign.
I can't wait to see the pictures. And
absolutely.
I mean, how's your brother?
My brother's going to be there too.
Your brother?
My brother's coming out to see you, man. Yeah, and he wants an autographed T-shirt from you.
Oh,
so bring some T-shirts.
I wasn't planning on bringing T-shirts, man. What size is your brother?
Man, he's going to be. You know, get him a large. Get him a large.
He's a skinny dude.
Yeah, he's skinny.
Okay, all right. I'll hook him up with a large. Before I let you go, you've got a son named Yngwie?
I got a son. Okay, here's the story with that one.
I mean, on his birth certificate, it says Yngwie Morgan.
That's right. So his mom used to work at the Rainbow, right? And she was waitress at the Rainbow, and she loved Yngwie Malmsteen. That was our connection, you know, when we met. Is my wife's all keep it clean.
Oh no.
You know, so you know, that was our connection that we had. We were both like huge Yngwie fans, you know. But you know, she got to party with Yngwie, and I think his girlfriend at the time was Gretchen or something like that. And they just stayed up all night talking. And so she named my first son after Yngwie. And then we had a second son, you know, and she used to party with Van Halen and, you know, all them guys too. Because, you know, she was actually engaged to Mario Jr.
Yep.
So she lived up in the hills at his house for a lot of years. And so she got to see a lot and meet a lot. And so she named my second son Eric Van Halen Morgan. And my first son is Neil Yngwie Morgan.
Oh, man.
And they both, hey, but here's the thing is they both play guitars. Now, they're not Jimmy Church's, you know, but they both play guitars. And they, you know, I got one son. He's a great singer. You know, I love his voice. The other son, who's the better guitar player, voice ain't so good, but he writes really cool music. Lyrics are great. But you know how it is.
Man,
it's a musician's life. It's the starving musician lifestyle, you know.
Absolutely. This is so cool talking to you. And I don't know if the audience can fully grasp how long we have been friends and the connection of all of that. I had another thought.
Well, it all started in Pasadena, man.
All started in Pasadena. You lived with me for a while, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I might as well have been. I was sleeping on your couch enough nights, you know, even when I wasn't living. You know, I was like one of those friends that wouldn't go away.
Oh, man. And I'm so proud.
Every time you turned around, I was just sitting there. Are you going to play another song, Jimmy?
Yeah. But I'm so proud of you, man. You've got a great family. I've met most of them. And after all of these years, you know, to go from Indianapolis to California, and here we are. This is 2021, my friend. And to have you get introduced, I've been doing the show now for almost 10 years, and you've never called in. Now we've been.
Yeah, but we watch almost every night.
Yeah, we've
watched all the time.
I don't want the audience to think that we haven't been connected. We are connected, but this is
I go to
the
the
first.
Rainbow. I go to your shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Or excuse me, your the parties.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and you got introduced to everybody there 1 year, and that was pretty cool. That was very special for me.
Yeah.
So, listen, Dwayne, I've got to take a commercial break. You've got my phone number, so
I don't. This is the only number I got. But when I see you Saturday, we can talk about all that stuff.
You don't have my phone number.
I don't have your phone number.
That's impossible.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Okay, well, there's a reason for it.
Jimmy got all famous and forgot about his small friends. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're not going to get my phone number either. So, all right, hey, Dwayne, I will see you Saturday. I'll reach out. I've got your phone number. See, you don't know that. So, anyway, we'll make arrangements for Saturday, and I can't wait to see your brother. That's going to be a trip. That is going to be a trip.
He can't wait to see you there. You know, man. He even listened to you when you were on the AM radio show. He listens to you like religiously.
That's crazy. But don't bring any. Don't bring any of the other Oak Street boys. Just your brother.
The Oak Street boys are all in prison or dead.
I'll talk to you. Dwayne Morgan, man, thank you so much. Very special night that you called in, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Love you, Jimmy. Have a good one.
Love you right back, Dwayne Morgan. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, that Dwayne is the reason why I'm in California. And he talked me into it. And it was really funny how he gave me his phone number back in India and said, man, call me. And I did. It was like a year later. I said, dude, I'm coming out. And it was Dwayne. It was Dwayne. And wow, Pasadena. That's a great phone call right there. I got a million stories just popping into my head that all center around Dwayne. I mean, the original band photographs and going out, that was Dwayne and just the start of everything. And wow. And that is just crazy. Okay, I got to take a break. My head is swimming. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hard reboot on the software brought everything back. So there you go. I'll be right back after this short break. If you're on hold, stay right there. This is Fade to Black.
You are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan. Lemurian, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30daysfree on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What a great night on the show. I love Fader Night. You just never know. You know, it's just great having conversations. And during the break there, I was thinking about this. I hope Dwayne is still listening. This Yngwie thing. Okay, it was a very serious situation with Yngwie back in the day. And yeah, I was a big Van Halen guy, of course, as everybody knows. But Yngwie, you know, just came into the scene. Well, anyway, this was probably very early 1985. And we go, it's Dwayne, myself, and Rob Cazares, the three of us, the Three Musketeers. And we go to see Yngwie at the Palladium. And Sound Barrier opened, and then it was Talus with Billy Sheehan. I remember this night like it was yesterday. And then Yngwie headlining. And Dwayne had this white suit sport coat that he used to wear, like Don Johnson. Anyway, so the three of us are there, and we're pretty close. And Yngwie comes out, he's playing. It's the first song. And I look over at Dwayne, and he's crying. And I go, dude. And he was just so overtaken with emotion. And I will just never forget. He was so happy. And I think it was only for one song. But that's what happens, man. And Yngwie was part of our world. It was just incredible. And to have, and back then, that version of Rising Force, the early version of Yngwie, that was because I think Dwayne and I, man, I almost need to talk to him again. I think we saw him twice. We saw Yngwie at the Palladium, and then we later saw him at the Universal Amphitheater like a year later. I'm pretty sure Dwayne went to that show too, but the Palladium show specifically, I'll never forget that. That was too much. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Carrie in Palm Springs. How are you?
I just sent you an email during the break.
You're kidding.
I just sent you an email with one word in it.
Oh,
how
funny.
Yeah, check your email. Read my email to everybody. What does it say?
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. It's going to take me just a second.
I literally just like 2 minutes ago. It's 9.
Yay. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
I love it.
And I sent that to you at 9:30 p.m. And it's 9:36. So, yeah, 6 minutes ago.
So funny. Oh, my goodness.
There you go.
Well, I wasn't going to call in because I know I'm going to see you Saturday. But first of all, what a great night of great calls. And your friend Dwayne sounds so amazing. I hope I get a chance to meet him on Saturday. What a great friend. There's nothing better than old friends. I have friends I've known for 30, 40 years also, and they're so special. So, it was so fun to hear stories.
This is the thing with Dwayne, and he knows this. Dwayne, my life, there was always drama. We had the band, we had work, we had our friends, we had this, we had and Dwayne was always at the center of the drama, and or me or another friend. You know what I mean? But I'm saying in that circle of friends, he witnessed all of the drama going down. Some of it was caused by Dwayne. I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean? And he was right there for years. And absolutely, that's a really, really, really close and old friend right there. So, yeah. No, not to say that he didn't cause some of the drama. He did. But what I mean is he was part of the circle. And so everything that was going down, he was right there. He got to witness all of it. But I'll never forget that night when he told the cops he was Yngwie Malmsteen. I'll never forget.
Hilarious.
Watching
story.
that cop, with the shoulder radio, right? Okay, it's Yngwie Malmsteen. Why? And radios it in. I mean, we were standing there going, "This is not going to end well," and it came back with an all clear. And
well, Yngwie was from Sweden. His record was back in Sweden.
Yeah, apparently so. I will never. I think we watched. I think that was like Nightmare on Elm Street or something. 1984, 1985. Man, that was a long time ago. Woo. All right, Carrie. So what's on your mind?
Well, the reason I had the call is this sighting that you had the other night with the red and the green and the white lights. It's interesting because that caught my ear, because it's very rare you hear about some sort of sighting with these multiple colored circulating lights, correct?
Okay.
And it sounds like you researched it and you didn't find anything.
Right.
Well, my grandmother in the 70s, I don't know, I was like 5 or 6 or 7, so it was like 75, 76, 77, she would occasionally get up in the middle of the night and go to the kitchen and get a drink of water and an aspirin. And all of a sudden, she comes into the bedroom, and she wakes up my grandfather, and I happen to be spending the night, and she wakes me up, too. She's like, you have to come to the kitchen and see this. There's I don't remember what word she used, if she said saucer or craft, but it's circulating these lights really fast, these rainbow-colored lights, and there's red and green and white, and I think she said blue. And she said it was like a rainbow, and they were flashing these lights really fast. And we, of course, when we got to the kitchen window, we couldn't see anything. And I remember at that age going, maybe Grandma's a little, what was she really doing in the kitchen?
Right.
So I just had to bring that up because it's rare, and I always keep an ear out for that, something similar to that, because I know my grandmother was telling, 100% the truth. So anyways, the sighting that you saw, was it similar to that as far as the lights and how they would...
It was only one color, just white lights. But they were zipping around it. And it only did the zip around it twice. And, I keep repeating probably the most important part about this is I have my cell phone. And the reason why I didn't shoot video is because I was caught by surprise, right? It just appeared in I wasn't out there with my cell phone at the ready. And it happened when I first stepped up to that side of the road. And by the time this whole thing, the zip, that was probably about a minute. And the two, because it flickered in the middle of that. But anyway, when I finally thought about my cell phone and then got it ready and put it on video, it was over. It didn't happen again. And so that was it. I don't have any more to explain about what I saw or anything. There was no movement. It was in the same exact spot in the sky. I don't know. It was a perfect circle.
Different?
What's that?
Was this different than the one that you and Eric saw? That Eric took a picture of?
No, two different. Two different. The thing that Eric and I saw was a triangle. This was circular, and this is the other part. Carrie, I'm going to put you on hold for just a second. Just stay right there, okay? Sure. I got to do this, because these calls are coming in and making noise, and it's bothering me. And, okay. All right, let me go back. I think this is... Let me go back. I got all these calls lined up. I hope I didn't mess this up. Okay, Carrie, you're back, right?
Yes.
Okay. When we went back out, Eric and I, to that spot, and then looked, I couldn't believe how far away it actually was, and I didn't really think about it those first 2 days. But going back and then seeing it and just trying to get my bearings, whatever I saw was significantly large, because the base and the runway and the hangars and things, which you could see with the naked eye, but it was, it's obviously like 2 miles, 2.5, maybe 3 miles away. I don't know exactly, but for this object to be that large over the base, it was big. It was big. Yeah. It was, 100 feet, 200 feet in diameter. It was big. And
that's the one that had the red and the white and the green light.
No, that was the triangle that Eric and I saw over this past weekend. The circular object was white lights. White. And after the lights did the circle and blinked out, it was black. And so I'm looking against the night sky. I couldn't see the object. I couldn't see it. It was trippy. I remember, let me tell you something, Carrie, and I've got to get the rest of these calls in before the end of the show. I remember driving away and going, okay, that was friggin' weird. And it's got to be a simple explanation. It has to be. There has to be, because if that was a flying saucer with lights, we're in crazy town area. And I was expecting to come back the next day and see something out there on a pole with a round thing on the top, and I could go, whew, okay, that's all it was. And it wasn't there. And, yeah, and when I went back with Eric and I'm looking at it again and now realizing that, I was literally on the base and it was right there. I don't know, man. They were testing something. Something was going on above Edwards, or it was a flying saucer above Edwards and ET was hanging out. I don't know. But it wasn't something on the top of a pole, which is what I was hoping it was. So, Carrie,
either way, super cool experience. Thank you, Jimmy. I'll see you Saturday. Have a good rest of your night, and see you Saturday. I'm so excited.
I'll see you Saturday, Carrie. It's going to be great. Drive safe.
Thank you. Fade to black.
Fade to black. Carrie from Palm Springs. And it was, again, I just keep going back to these thoughts about, when that object popped up, and it was quick. When it popped up, I'm serious. I was like, no, right? No way. Not lights going in a circle in the sky in front of me out in the middle of the desert. No. And then it happened again. And in the middle of the two circular things, it fluttered. It was like an out of tune TV, like static on a TV. That's what it looked like. And like it was trying to start up. That's what it looked like. It was like, brr, 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 and then it went brr, again. Yeah, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah?
You're live.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, you got to turn me down in the background.
Okay, right there?
Okay, okay. All right, who's calling?
All right, this is Vader. Just calling in to say hi.
Vader? Vader?
Yeah, Lord.
Lord Vader. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah. Not much. Just out of the ordinary, not ordinary, but I was up north Modesto, and I was abducted by aliens.
You were molested?
I was abducted.
Oh, abducted.
By aliens. Yeah, but before that happened, though, I raced to my mom's house, and I went inside. I go, Mom, I feel something above the house. And my hair was standing straight up, so she goes, go back and look across the street. And so I did, and I seen the formations of UFOs.
And this was when?
Formation. This is 1977, February 17th.
How old are you?
I'm 52 now.
You're 52. So how old were you in 1977? Like 10, 9, 8?
It was about 8 or 9, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you remember being abducted?
After I seen the UFOs, I went back to my house and I did tell my mom I seen them. I just went upstairs to go to bed. And that same night, I was abducted, yeah.
Do you remember anything?
I just remember like glimpses of the window light. There was like light that pulled me into their ship. And then, you know, how it pulled me in was like from some gravitational wave or something. I don't know. It was weird. It just went inside my window and I was pulling myself out.
Wow.
I went in and out. Yeah.
And you were awake. This was something that you just experienced and you remember.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy, but also pretty cool. Did you tell your mom about it?
On top of that, there's the house was haunted too, by the way, and all kinds of weird stuff going on at the same time.
And which had nothing to do with the other.
No.
Yeah, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
Right on, Vader. Well, listen, enjoy your weekend, and thank you for that. Well, see, the thing is, and before I let you go, you have that experience at 8, and now everybody today is talking about UFOs, and now you can tell everybody, see, I wasn't crazy, right?
Yeah, I did make a UFO picture. I don't know how I was trying to tell you how I could send it to you in the mail, but it's really heavy.
Oh, well, send me an email Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. I'll tell you how to get that done.
Okay.
All right, Vader. Enjoy your weekend, my friend. Thank you so much.
All right, you too. All right, bye.
It's time to fade to black. That's pretty interesting. Modesto, too, but 8 years old. And then your mom's like, go back outside. That's what happened in 1977. And then the next thing you know, an abduction. Yeah, that was mom's fault. Wow, that's great. That's great. Vader, we're at the end of the show tonight, but if you're listening, call back. I've got other calls on hold tonight. I'm trying to get everything in before the end of the show, but call back. I've actually got more questions. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
I'll go by B.
Say what?
How are you? The letter B.
The letter B is the name we are going to use. Okay. How are you doing,
sir.
B?
Personally, I mean, I guess I'm all right. Yeah.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
What's on your mind?
I always wanted to talk about an experience I went through when I was 17.
What happened?
I did so much research on it, and I have yet to find anyone who has similar experience. So when I was 17, I woke up. I was living in a house. I woke up in the basement, and right above me would be where my adopted parents used to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 dogs in the house. There's an alarm system at this time. But the way I woke up is like there was fog in my room. And I thought that was strange. So I kind of looked to the right at the window. And like the blinds were closed. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I looked over towards the left at the door. And the door was closed. And as soon as I went to turn to look straight, all of a sudden there's this being standing in front of my bed. At the end of my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go straight sitting up in my bed, staring at this being. And like all that's running mainly through my mind at the time was, why me? Why the fuck does this shit always happen to me?
No bad language. No bad language.
Sorry, my apologies. I don't know your show. I just first heard of it. And then next thought came to my mind is like as a child, you think of like when you have nightmares, you go to your parents. So like I thought about like screaming to my parents, and I got this feeling right afterwards. And after the feeling came words like, you would disappear and nobody would know of it. So then my next thought was like to jump up and run and scream at the same time, but the same feeling came right afterwards. And then so the only thing that came to my mind is at the time I was going to this Catholic school, so like I just thought of like the Our Father and the Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
So I like went under my covers and I prayed both of those back to back all the way till I fell asleep. And then when I woke up the next morning, there was like I could see sunlight coming through those window. I was still under my covers, but I didn't get out until like I can hear people talking in the house and moving around.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I like ran all the way upstairs and told them like what the heck I just went through. But
so what do you ultimately, Vader? What do you think this was? Now you said you prayed. So were you thinking that this was like a bad entity or something demonic, or do you think it was extraterrestrial? And did the prayers, you thought it was extraterrestrial, but do you think the prayers 100%. Affected that?
Well, through the research that I went through afterwards, when I first found out about the Project Blue Book, what I read in there, they said all the government agencies came to understanding that when people pray to a higher entity, that the abduction would usually stops. They found that out, I guess, through all the cases that they came together. So I thought that was kind of unique to read.
Yeah.
But in reality, like I knew for a fact that this being is like, it doesn't mean good. That's for sure.
Well, but you weren't hurt. You were just scared.
Yeah, like it presented fear upon me.
Yeah. Very interesting. And I've heard references to handling a situation that way. You know, and look, if there's a conscious connection between you and ET, like they can read your thoughts, right? They understand your feelings.
Wasn't reading my thoughts, I don't think, because like I don't know if you ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I have.
That young woman, the Asian woman that has like the antennas.
Yep.
The way she does empathy is how I learned how it speaks to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. But that is what I'm saying.
Telepathy.
Yeah, right. That is what I'm saying. I'm talking about picking up on your feelings, and empath is a way. And you were scared, and you were projecting a thought of through prayer that you didn't want this situation. And
no doubt.
And that being whatever it was, understood that and left you alone. And you weren't ready for the experience,
I didn't see it leave, not at all. But like from what it showed me, it had no it wasn't trying to be like kind in any way. Like it was coming for a reason to like intimidate in a fashion manner that really like made me go like, okay, obviously you're not healthy.
Right. Well, you were able to call into the show tonight and share this experience with us. So there was a good side to and a good ending to this. Vader, thank you for the phone call. And I've got to roll to credits. It's a great way to end the night. Thank you so much, my friend. It's a great phone call. And call into the show anytime. I love first-time callers. I absolutely do. What a great night on the show. That was a perfect night of Fade to Black. That was a perfect Fader night right there. Thank you to everybody that called in tonight. And want to remind everybody what's going down. That is this Saturday, September 11th, the Pasadena International Film Festival. And the film that I am narrating for J3 Films is called Extraordinary, The Revelations. It is showing at Lamel 7 at 6 p.m. on Saturday night. I will be there with the company. Everybody's there. The 3 J's are going to be there. The L is going to be there. The company's going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're going to do a Q&A at the end of the night, too, as well. So go to Pasadena International Film Festival, the website. I've got the links up all over social media. Get yourself some tickets and come and hang out with all of us. And that is Saturday night in Pasadena, my hometown. Looking forward to all of it. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew, the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2021 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll see everybody Saturday night in Pasadena, and then, of course, Monday right here on Fade to Black. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. It's time to fade to black.